Hello, everybody, and welcome to Harrisonville, Missouri. We're on the campus of Harrisonville Middle School Memorial Stadium. Back the Blue times 2, taking off here today. The Wildcat Youth Football Program in our spotlight today. We will have 4 games today. The 6th graders, the 3rd graders, the 5th graders, the 7th graders, 4th graders are on a bye week. And we will talk about them throughout the day. Maybe have their coach up here a little bit later and chat about the 4th graders. Overall, smashing success, back the blue, more than I could have ever imagined expectation-wise. Tells you how much this community not only loves football, but loves their law enforcement. We were able to raise $1,700 for local law enforcement. We are going to give 2 $850 checks today to local law enforcement for the Harrisonville Shop with a Cop program and the Cass County Auxiliary. Gary Davidson, obviously a retired highway patrolman, calling in some favors. We may have a couple of the highway patrolmen come up here today, chat with them as well. You know, it's about back in the blue and back in the blue down on the field. It's going to be a fun day today. We're going to have fun. We're going to spotlight these kids, and it's just going to be some fun. Hometown Flooring is our pregame sponsor. I want to thank Hometown Flooring for coming on board. They were sponsoring this as we talk about the little Wildcats. One of them used to be a little Wildcat. He is one of the senior captains walking up the stairs right now, Trevor Campbell. I think they're putting him to work today. So here he comes walking up. He probably has already been watching game film. So he's ready to rock and roll.
He's got all our snacks, obviously, in the bag there, so we know where to go to snack.
So we want to thank everybody that really came together and put this together as a community, because that's what really sets this apart from everything else. I'm really proud of all of the sponsors we had come on board. You look up and down the list, we'll go through them. Troby's Maytag, who is one of our sponsors on every Friday night, they gave a little bit extra because they wanted to be a part of this as well. And they were already going to be a part of it. All of our monthly sponsors, they are a part of this, but several of them gave a little bit more as well. Show Me Auto Mall, Holland Auto Sales, Max Ford of Harrisonville, Lacey Dominic with Shelter Insurance, Cameron Chinna with American Family, Young's Tire and Wheel Center, Young's Auto Repair, Sherwood Community Bank, American Heritage Realtors, C-Squared Custom Embroidery, Time for Season Catering, Forged by Fire, Cass County Guns and Ammo, the Suzy Q Drive-In, Brad Sainer Farmers Insurance, Hawthorne Bank, Health's Turf Farm, Hahn Heating and Cooling, Harrisonville Chamber, and then all the new ones that came on as well. Shivers Ice House, Amazing Photography. She's gonna be here today, Kennedy May, and she's gonna be taking pictures all day long, and then she's gonna have pictures for all the parents to go and look at and be able to purchase as well. We'll probably talk to her throughout the day. Of course, Sonic Drive-In and Schroeder, some of our monthly sponsors as well. CPSK Insurance, Hometown Flooring, Excalibur Contracting, Lori Turk with Crown Realty, Beechner Lawn Care, The Girls, JCM Plumbing and Drain, Trey Chic Salon, Young's Construction, J. Lee Renovations, S&S Auto Transport, The Barber's Edge, Jesse Brown Real Estate, Land and Sand Power Sports and Turf, Church and Dwight. I think that says a lot about our community right there.
That does. I mean, it's obviously starts with the public, but those that represent the public are businesses that we want to go out and support as well. They are supporting us back, and we really appreciate that tremendously long list, which is great. And we need to read it several times throughout the day.
So we're going to take a time out if Jerry gets back over here in time.
You waited until he left his chair.
And then we'll be back. We're going to talk more on a pregame show. No, not necessarily keys to the game and stuff today, but I want to talk about youth football. I want to talk about the Harrisonville team and the Clinton team that's getting ready to play out here today. We'll be back after this.
Church and Dwight in Harrisonville, Missouri is now hiring machine operators and maintenance technicians for overnight shifts. Full-time employees receive full benefits immediately. Apply now at churchdwight.com/careers and we will contact you to schedule an interview.
A good cut can be hard to come by, not with Dusty at the Barber's Edge. Go see him at South Commercial right in front of the Trade Fair in the Little Red Building. Family-friendly environment, great price, and an amazing cut. If you want to look good, call Dusty at the Barber's Edge so you can look your best every day.
Looking for a lifestyle photographer who was raised in small town Missouri? Kennedy May and Amazing Photography is that person. She will capture the fun and playful side of her clients and is ready to listen to what you want in a photography session. Friendly, affordable, caring, and compassionate, Kennedy will make sure your next session in front of the camera is an enjoyable one. Look her up on Facebook at Amazing Photography or her website at amazingphotography.mypixieset.com. It will be an amazing experience.
Beechner Lawn Care LLC is locally owned and has been in business since 2007. They specialize in lawn and landscaping, leaf removal, aeration, overseeding, as well as snow removal for commercial and residential clients. Work with a reliable company who take pride in their work. Call Josh Beechner at 816-804-9743 to set up a no-obligation quote today.
Are you still trying to decide if you should make the jump and buy a home? Call Jessie and schedule an appointment to weigh the advantages of owning your own home. She will walk you through the steps and show you all the pros to being a homeowner. Call 816-885-0043 and put Jessie Brown Real Estate to work at finding your family the home of your dreams. Are you still trying to decide if you should make the jump?
Why
and buy
would
a
you
home?
ever trust a guy in a big store with helping you pick out the right flooring for your house? I wouldn't. I'd call Hometown Flooring in Harrisonville. They will travel to you, consult with you, and come up with the best options for you, your house, and your budget. Everything from carpet and vinyl to hardwood and backsplash, this store has it all. Your money stays right here in the community these owners grew up in. Let the professionals at Hometown Flooring help you create the look you love with products that last. Call them at 816-380-2464 and set up your estimate today. 801 Locust Street, Harrisonville, Missouri, 64701.
J. Lee Renovations is family owned and operated. We understand how important your time and money is. With over 40 years of combined skills in the remodeling industry, we have the experience and knowledge to bring great quality work to you. After all, it's your satisfaction that is number one to us. So give Mark or Chris a call at 816-519-2051 or visit our website at renovatingkc.com. That's renovatingkc.com and get started on your free estimate today.
JCM Plumbing and Drain know you rely on your plumbing every single day. If your pipes or fixtures are broken or failing, the headaches and damage could be catastrophic. When you need fast, reliable repairs and replacements, call the experts at JCM Plumbing and Drain at 816-726-8281 and put them to work for you.
Whether it's a summer cool down or a winter warm up, Shivers is there with treats for everyone. All summer long, you can enjoy hundreds of different shaped ice flavors, combinations, or their world famous Dole Whip. Since the weather is changing, so is the selection at Shivers with several warm treats including delicious homemade waffles. Located in Artisans Corner next to the historic Harrisonville Square, there is sure to be something for everyone. Come see them today. Whether it's a summer cool down or a
S&S
winter
Auto Logistics uses only experienced professionals for your automotive shipping. Our highly skilled drivers are background checked and professionally trained. We offer fast, reliable, and courteous service to all of our customers. Call today and speak with one of our representatives for an instant quote at 573-392-1001.
Finding the right home can be a hassle. It doesn't have to be. Call Lori Turk with Crown Realty. Whether you're buying or selling, she will take care and time to get to know you and your family and give you a seamless transition from one home to another. Lori will help you through the entire process and make sure that everything goes smoothly. When it's time to find your family's next home, call Lori Turk with Crown Realty and put her to work for you.
You always worry about your deck catching fire when you have a fire. Put Young's Construction to work for you to create a beautiful backyard patio and fire pit. Or if you are tired of endless cracks and crumbles in your driveway, they can help you out there as well.
Call Young's Construction at 816-738-1005 for a free estimate today.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Harrisonville, Missouri. Back the Blue times 2 2020. And that's one of the good things out of 2020. Not a whole lot else happening that's made any sense in 2020. But we are here. We have youth football all day long, Wildcat football in the youth division. 6th grade's playing Clinton. 3rd grade is going to play Richmond. The 5th grade is going to play Richmond. There's a 4th grade game between Pleasant Hill and Warrensburg. We will not be broadcasting that game. We'll talk a little bit about it later on. And then the 7th grade, Phil Rogers and company, they have what we call the prime time game coming up at 5 o'clock this evening. And we will have all 4 of those games. Gary will be with me for 3 of those 4. He says he's got something going on tonight. I think it was just an excuse, so he didn't have to go anywhere.
I got a wedding. I believe there's a coach that his daughter is getting married this evening, and I probably ought to be at that wedding. Coach Hicks.
There you go. Okay, I didn't know that. So
2 alums from Harrisonville are getting married. So,
gotcha. Well, that's good to know. So we have about 17 minutes.
I hope that wasn't a secret or anything.
I didn't know. We have 17 minutes before we get to game time. So Wildcats set to do battle against the Clinton Cardinals. And, you know, I've been doing this is my 14th year of broadcasting Harrisonville. And I didn't know anything about football culture, anything like that before I came to Harrisonville. This is my 16th year of broadcasting. My first 2 years was at Sherwood. And then we came here. And it's amazing what football, people always ask me, how is it Harrisonville? How are all these schools always, the same schools always good year in and year out? You're looking at it down on the field. Youth programs. And I've talked to people from Clinton. Clinton's over there. Clinton's got a special place in my heart. Know a lot of those guys down there coaching. Brandon Jolly, Joe Shoemate, BJ Bramall. BJ was on the last team that won a conference title for Clinton back in the fall of 95-96 year. And those guys are part of the youth program. You see the name Wessendorf down there. Cody's been great. Cody Wessendorf, who has been great running the youth programs, along with Brandon Jolly, who's done a great job with the youth and the youth wrestling program. And then Dana Banks, who's another one down there in Clinton. They're trying to get this youth program going, and they've got a new coach this year. They're taking their lumps in the MRVC West. But I've told those guys, and I've told people in Clinton, just hang on to your seats. It starts at the youth level. And now those guys have kids in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. That's the next wave. So in a couple of years, we're probably going to be talking, man, Clinton's surprising some people this year. Well, it shouldn't surprise anybody in Clinton or anybody that's ever been around their program, because those kids know how to win. And they won. I say call them kids. I call myself a kid sometimes, I guess. But those guys, they know how to win. So they're instilling that winning in their kids. And that's where it really starts. You know, there's a reason Webb City, Harrisonville, Kearney, you know, all of these programs in that Class 4 area are always the same ones that are so good. Their youth programs are amazing. Their head coaches from the high school team and their assistant coaches are helping coach these youth kids so they can install offenses and all that stuff.
Well, and they've been doing it. Speaking about Webb City, I'm from Carthage, so I grew up and played ball in Carthage, and we had youth football back in the 60s and the 70s as well. They've always had it down there, and they've always had a tremendous program down there. I mean, it's not only about obviously the program, or the town that you're in, but also the program that you're able to play in as well. And that is the beautiful thing about Harrisonville, is we've been able to backfill. That's what I call it, backfill into the high school. And you look like young men like Trevor Campbell that just came up. They started out in that program at age, probably grade 3 or so, even before that, some of the flag. And, you know, that opportunity gets them prepared, and a lot of times, like Harrisonville, when Coach Bouchard was here, he was coming out to the youth programs, working with the coaches, getting them to run the style of offense, the play that they did. And that's what Webb City does. I mean, I think when the baby is born, I think they're given the playbook of the Webb City Cardinals, and that's what they do until they graduate from high school.
Right, and one of the reasons they're so good year in and year out is they had a little bit of a lull there in the late middle 80s, you know, kind of like Harrisonville had in the 90s, and then Coach Roderick came in there and he did that, and he started. they start to split back veer in first grade. There's a reason, everybody's like, oh, well, we lost our starting running back and our starting quarterback and a linebacker last night at Webb City, and everybody starts losing their mind in Webb City because that's like their pro team. Well, guess what happens? There's 3 other kids that might have been a linebacker that goes to quarterback. They know all the terminology, they know all the positions, and that's why they're so good. Same with Harrisonville. Coach Bouchard came in the early 2000s, and he said it starts with the youth program.
Absolutely.
Boom. Next thing you know, 5 consecutive state title games for the Wildcats. They win 4 of them. This Yahoo back here behind us, Jerry Forsler, was part of that. He knows that. He knows how that all goes. And we were lucky to keep this one because I'm pretty sure he was about this close to going to Staley with Coach Bouchard, and he stayed around, and we're glad to obviously have him here. But it all starts at that youth level. And one of the great things is seeing kids down there for like Harrisonville, and they wear numbers. They're not wearing, everybody loves Patrick Mahomes. Everybody loves Patrick Mahomes, but these kids, a lot of those kids are probably grabbing numbers of a Trevor Campbell.
Oh, of course.
Or I'm sure everybody's wanting to be number 25 right now. Wanting to be a Jace Reynolds, seeing what he does. I remember one of the kids when I first got here. Ange was teaching 6th grade, and one of the kids had the number, and I was like, well, why do you got that? He goes, well, because my favorite player plays for the Wildcats. And it just stuff like that is what makes youth programs. And now Clinton's got to be able to get in on that. These kids, you look down on their number 42, Connor Bramall, for Clinton. You know why he wears number 42? Because Daddy wore number 42 when he was in high school. It's just – and that was the first thing I noticed when I got their roster, because I remember watching BJ play when he was in high school. Play like a fullback, like running back, and he just run over people. And it was fun to watch him play. Well, guess what? His son knows that's who – and then there's the name Wessendorf. That is one of Cody's nephews, because I asked him – I thought it might have been one of Cody's kids. And I asked BJ, I said, well, why is he not wearing 76? Because that was what Cody's number was. You go to the 7th graders, Dana Banks, his son plays on the 7th grade Clinton team that they're playing in the middle school now. He wears 77. Why? Because his dad wore 77. So they haven't had those youth or those high school kids to look up, but they're looking up to their parents who were the last team to win. My brother, he's probably mad at me because he coached.
He's not the only one, but anyway.
Well, yeah, right. Brandon Goff, his son Peyton is now a 7th grader, my nephew. Well, he's probably mad that we didn't start this last year, so they could have got a broadcast as well. So I'm waiting to get that text or email from Brandon and say, why didn't you do it when Peyton was playing? But nevertheless, those guys are the guys that were on that last team that won, and they've got to start, and Clinton people got to be patient and know it's going to take – Coach LeFevor's going to do good things at Clinton. You just got to give him time. I asked BJ, they're starting a lot of freshmen and sophomores, and that's where it starts.
Well, you like to have professional athletes, be emulated by the kids, but also, more importantly, you like to have the high school program. You've mentioned that. The players on the high school team, like the Jace Reynolds, like the Campbell, and the Carruthers brothers, and all that. I mean, it's great to be able to. It did roll right off, didn't it? You love it when, and they do. It's great on a Friday night when they're able to come out here. I'm not sure exactly how it's working under COVID. Hopefully they're watching. If they're not able to come here, they're watching it on 4Ts. But, the enjoyment, the excitement that you get coming out here on a Friday night to watch your favorite team play and watch those players do the things that they do and win like last night. I'd like to have a clean sweep today and yesterday. I mean, you got the win last night, have 4 wins today, move out the weekend and be 5-0 for the Wildcats all weekend.
Well, then we may be doing this every Saturday. Hey, you guys come back and do it. Hopefully we can turn this into an annual event. It's awesome. It's awesome for the kids. It's awesome for our law enforcement. It's awesome for everybody that we were able to do this. And I'm so glad that it took off the way it did. Jerry always says, you know what, when you get ideas, I love it because you take off with them. And I was able to take off with this idea, and it just took a mind of its own, really, and Summer Smith, I want to give her a shout out. She was a rock star. She was like, I'll get the name out there. I'll tell people. And next thing you know, she emails me a couple days later. She goes, hey, I've got 3 sponsors for you. So that's what, it takes everybody.
But, it actually, to a certain extent, it started last year with the teams themselves, with the uniforms that they bought. I mean, they, throughout the Harrisonville program, showed what they thought of law enforcement with the uniforms that they were wearing. It brought shivers up my spine to see that type of commitment and that type of proof of love for law enforcement to the uniforms that they purchased. So you get that kind of stuff at that young of age, and you just take it right on through high school and in adulthood.
Well, and that was the thing. That was the thing that really got me going on this. I was like, what can we do and also raise money for a good cause? And I was like, you know what, the youth program, they really did a good job with the local law enforcement last year with those thin blue line uniforms. And so this year I said, let's take it another step up. And Gary, obviously we talked about being a retired law enforcement. He's got his thin blue line hat on, and he's got his thin blue line bracelet on, his like one of those Live Strong bracelets. So he is ready to rock and roll as finally the slow ones come rolling in here.
Well, they live a few miles away from here.
But I think that Larissa's maybe blaming this on Joey. No. Oh. So anyway, we're having fun here. It is Back the Blue ×2. We have great sponsors that have came on board. Let's go through some Land and Sand Power Sports and Turf starting lineups. Really, I'm going to run down both rosters because at the youth level, anybody that's coached youth knows you got about 13, 14 kids, maybe sometimes up to 18, but you're going both ways and you're going to have fun with it. So for Clinton, we've got Bryce Beatty, Hayden Jacobson, Ricky Nielsen, Jesse Cole, Jaden Delaney, Daniel Ulick, Idarius Scruggs, Brody Barnhart, Gage Wessendorf, Connor Bramble, Colin Keith, Austin Kroll, and David Hunt. And I was talking to BJ, he's going to have, they're down to, I think, 12 today because they have a couple of kids that are not here.
Well, no, I counted Clinton. They had 13.
So 13.
And Harrisonville's got 18 right now. So
we'll roll down the Clinton team, or the Harrisonville team now for you. Caleb Campbell, Brody McNeil, Isaac Moore, Chase Smith, Hunter Dubray, Cooper Baker, Carson Houchin, Peyton Snyder, Chandler Wright, Byron Smith, Solomon Bollinger, Donnie Bollinger Jr., Mason Rowe, Isaac Fernandez, Dallas McIntosh, Austin Hurt, Colton Myers, and Keaton Lindy for the 2 squads. And listening to some of those names, you probably know a couple of those names. Bollinger, of course, jumps right off the page at you.
Our stripes today, Kenny Cummins is going to probably be the white hat. He's got his blackout hat. His son is next to him. I think he overtowers him now, Austin Cummings, and I'm not sure who the other one is. I'll find out who that is so we can give them some kudos up here as well. They don't sometimes get the best out of things as far as ball games.
So we'll take another timeout. We'll thank some more of our great sponsors. We'll be back with your opening kickoff after this. You're watching youth football on Back the Blue ×2.
There are a ton of choices for home appliances, but only one you need to know. That's Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center in Harrisonville. Today, it's more important than ever to support small business. Troby's prides themselves on American-made appliances, competitive prices, and unmatched service from installation to service calls if any issue may arrive. Troby's is your hometown appliance center.
Next time you're in the market for a home appliance, think Trophies First on Plaza Drive right behind Hawthorne Bank.
It's hard to find someone reliable to work on your small engines. Not anymore. Nathan and the crew at Land and Sand are your stop from lawnmowers, personal watercraft, all the way to Can-Ams and razors. From tune-ups to race builds, they will make sure your toy is ready to play with the big boys. Call them at 816-738-1455 and set up an appointment today.
You have many choices when you buy a used car. What do you want? A good deal? A quality vehicle? Outstanding service? At Holland's Auto Sales, you don't have to sacrifice for one of the others. You get all three. The best part is Steve will be there for you because Holland Auto Sales has been Harrisonville's used car dealer for 36 years. So the next time you're in the market for a used car,
Go where the Grammars go, Holland Auto Sales, and ask for Steve.
Competition between teammates makes for a stronger and better team. Lacey Dominick of Shelter Insurance and Cameron Chenoweth of American Family Insurance were both Wildcats on the field. Now they are competitors off the field. They know that you have many choices for insurance, so they're teaming up to offer free auto, home, and life insurance quotes. Call Lacey at 816-380-2700 or Cam at 816-380-3996 and get started on your new insurance quote today. There are a million places to buy a used car, so why not go somewhere you know lives by the Show Me State motto? The staff at Show Me wants to show you that Show Me spirit. Excellent service, affordable prices, and even loaners while you get your car serviced. They will put you in your dream car, truck, or SUV, and if they don't have it, they'll find it for you. So drive on over to Show Me Auto Mall and drive away with your next car.
All right, welcome back. I want to say high school football, youth football today. We had high school football last night. Good win for the Wildcats, 39-13, the final score in that ball game. We've got football here. You may hear some wind in our microphones a little bit. We'll when it's October and it's going to end up being 90 degrees, you're going to get some wind, and that's what we're going to have today. Waiting for the kickoff here. It's like Byron Smith, and who else to be kicking it off? Byron Smith, who his brother-ish is Dallas Herndon.
Oh, who else to be kicking off then?
Right. So we wait the kickoff. Good liner. Going to be picked up by Clinton, and that'll be Bramall with it up to the 30, to the 35, finds a hole, weaves through traffic, and gets to the 35 where he'll be stopped, and that's where Clinton will take over their first drive of the ball game. Now, Connor Bramall, he has played up the last several years. I was talking about Dana Banks. Dana Banks had a team, my brother Brandon Goff. Their team is 7th graders now, so they're playing for the middle school. So Connor went back a grade, now is down to the 6th grader, but he'd been playing up with that 7th grade team until this year.
Then I would venture to say we'll see some good things out of him tonight.
Yeah, we will probably see a lot of number 42 here for Clinton. Clinton going to bring its team up to the line of scrimmage. Barnhart, the quarterback. 3-back set in the backfield on 1st and 10. And it looked like they're misdirection there. Looked like a little bit of a busted play, but Barnhart gets it to the outside for a yard. Might have got away with a false start, but you let it ride a little bit at the youth level. Going to be a yard gain for Clinton. Going to bring up 2nd down and 9, 7:35 to go here. First quarter, they play 8-minute quarters at the youth level. And they run the ball a lot, so you're going to have some quick football games with the clock not stopping a whole lot. 2nd down coming up for Clinton on this opening drive of Back the Blue ×2. Barnhart going to be under center, 3-back set in the backfield. That wishbone formation. And here they go. It's going to be a handoff and a good cutback there. The run by Hayden Jacobson. He's going to gain another yard. Going to bring up 3rd down and 8, for the Cardinals. counter play on second down.
Jerry probably remembers those wishbone plays and stuff back in the day.
So a 3rd down and 8 coming up, 6:40 to go here, opening drive of the game, and it is the Clinton Cardinals and the Harrisonville Wildcats.
3rd and 9 for the Cardinals from their 37.
So 3rd down, wishbone formation in the backfield, Barnhart under center. And this time he's going to keep it, and he's going to get a couple yards and then get stacked up, hit by number 15, Peyton Snyder, and taken down. That'll bring up a 4th down for Clinton. See if they go for it or have to punt here. I will say this, youth level, the kicking game can be an adventure sometimes. So we'll see if they're just going to go for it here on 4th down, what they're going to do. They got about 6 yards or so to go, maybe 7. So 5:55 and counting here in the first quarter. A 4th down coming up for the Cardinals.
Looks like they're going to punt.
It is look like a punt on 4th down. And I'm not sure, it couldn't quite see that number. Good high punt. And it's going to be caught at the 50, and the Cats are going to take off with it. I think that is Bollinger. He's got it past the 45 to about the 43-yard line. And it'll be a 1st down and 10 for the Wildcats at about the 43 of the Cardinals on their opening drive with 5:28 to go here in the first quarter of play. Here's another interesting thing that you see at the youth level. I don't know if anybody saw the viral video of the 6-year-old that was like stiff-arming kids that was like 3 times the size. They're like, he was probably the best 6-year-old ever or whatever. I was like, the kid was not 6. He was like 12, but they wanted to say he was 6. And I was like, first of all, that never happens. Like you have, if you look down at the Wildcats and the Cardinals, there's red stripes on helmets. Those are there not for decoration. Those kids are not allowed to run the football. There's weight restrictions on who can and cannot run the football for just that situation where you saw the 6-year-old who was laying everybody out. It just, kids grow at different levels. I've got a 6-year-old son who is in kindergarten, and he's a head taller than most kids because he's 6. So you never know.
Bollinger.
So here we go. There's a direct snap, and the Cats are going to take it, try to get to the outside. And I believe that is Peyton Snyder, who's going to get about 7 or 8 yards.
Kind of looking like a little bit of a Jace Reynolds there, kind of running through a few tackles.
And what was the first thing you noticed about that offense?
What are you talking about? This offense? Or?
The Harrisonville offense is set up exactly like the high school offense.
Absolutely.
And we talked about that in the pregame show. That's people always say, well, how do schools stay good and how are schools every year in and year out? They're running the same offense that the high school is. They got a 2-back set in the backfield. They could snap to either one of them. Back off the end, and they're going to go. And Snyder looks to pass this time, and he overthrows his target. Looked like a miscommunication there as they were going down. I think it was supposed to be DeBray maybe who got that target, but he was not looking back.
I like to see that, though, passing at this age, because when they get a couple of years older, they're going to be passing quite a bit. So
bring up a 3rd down and 3 with 4:38 to go here in the first quarter. He's Snyder in the backfield. I believe he's got Moore next to him. 2 wide receivers set to the right side, and they're going to hand off to Moore. Moore finds a seam, going to get close to a 1st down. Cut it up the middle. See if they're going to mark it. And no signal yet. So they're going to say it's 4th down, so 4th and short.
4th and inches. Well, maybe a foot.
Now, I think they might measure here because to me, where the ball was being marked, it looks like he's got it by about a half yard.
Yeah, and I think that's why Harrisonville coach asked what you can ask for a measurement. So
I could be off here with just our angle, but it looks like he's got that by about at least a football length.
By an inch.
And I don't think he it looks like it from here, but it's the angle. I think he's about a chain length short. So it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Very rarely see that where you have to bring another referee. Austin obviously brought his dad over to look at it and see, well, is it or is it not?
So Cat's obviously going to go for it on 4th down here. Let's see what they're going to do.
They are going to go under center. I was hoping that they would go under center so they could.
Bollinger under center, and he's just going to take it himself. He's got the 1st down to the 30. Little quick hitter for the quarterback down to the 30-yard line, 3-yard gain and a 1st down. That's a Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center 1st down. Think Troby's first when you think home appliances. Even the little kids get Troby's 1st downs. Ball down to the 30-yard line, 4:20 and counting here in the first quarter. The 6th grade Wildcats taking on the Cardinals. Good matchup here because these kids are going to be facing off against each other for years to come as Clinton and Harrisonville in the same conference. And this time they're going to direct snap it and into the secondary to the 20, to the 10, down to the house. Caleb Campbell with the touchdown. And it's 6-0. Wildcats out in front. Caleb Campbell takes the snap and saunters into the end zone from 30 yards out.
He's got some long legs. Once they got to striding, kind of like River Riley last night, went out and got the edge and went 70 yards for a touchdown. Kind of reminds me of last night a little bit.
So a 30-yard touchdown run by Caleb Campbell, and the Cats out in front 6-0. Here's a twist to the middle or to the youth level as they're getting ready to go for extra point. Runs on extra points are worth 1, and kicks are worth 2 at the lower levels because a kick is so much harder at that one. And the Cats are going to get it into – oh, no, they're going to say he was just short, and that was Bollinger, and he could not quite get in. That was Solomon Bollinger. And they're going to say no good, so it remains 6-0. We'll take a timeout, 3:57 to go here in the first quarter. Community is important to Excalibur Contracting. Being a Harrisonville business for 14 years, they understand what it takes to be successful and make Harrisonville successful. If you need help with a remodel, grounds, athletic field maintenance, mowing, or landscape, Excalibur Contracting is who to call. Mike and Natalie Johnson with Excalibur are proud to back the Blue both on and off the field.
Max Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Belton and Max Ford Harrisonville. Buying a new car, truck, or SUV is easy with the Max Guarantee.
Test drive any new Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC. We guarantee we will beat any competitor's offer on a new vehicle by $500, or we will give you $500 and a tank of gas. Hurry in. Great selection with over 1,300 vehicles priced at or below dealer cost.
Take your car shopping to the max.
Max Motors is your Kansas City dealer. MaxMotors.com. See dealer for details. Max Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Belton.
Back to action. Byron Smith to kick it off. High kick. Going to bounce at about the 35. Picked up by Clinton and immediately hit. Good pads popping. You could probably hear that from up here. And a good tackle by the Little Cats. And it'll be Clinton ball start on their own 35 on their second drive here. 3:53 to go in the first quarter. Cats lead 6-0. Forced a 3-and-out on their first series and drove right down on the field. And Caleb Campbell, 30-yard touchdown.
5 play, 48 yards. Took up, I'd say about 3 or 4 minutes of the time. Culminated by the 30-yard touchdown run by Campbell.
Going to go shotgun formation this time with Barnhart back there. Wide receiver left, wide receiver right. They're going to go in motion. And the ball on the turf. They're going to have to dive on it, and they do. Brings up a second down and about 11 or 12.
Got to like what you see out of the Wildcat defense right now. Now, that was a mistake that the Cardinals had on that one, but you got to look. They're still getting in the backfield, and they're providing a lot of pressure.
And what I love is we got a free safety playing about 15 yards off the ball. You don't see that as much at the high school level anymore with more specialized positions. Those safeties kind of come and creep in there. They're like, you stand here and you don't let anybody by you.
And I don't think he will be able to let anybody by him. Uh-oh.
Oh, bad snap, and it's going to go, and Barnhart going to have to dive on it back at the 20-yard line, and it's going to bring up third and peculiar. Third and peculiar for the Clinton Cardinals back at the 20-yard line.
That may be bridge with no exits rather than peculiar. I don't know. We'll see.
What might be what?
That is a law enforcement. Well, we title certain things, so that would be bridge and no exits. The bridge between here and peculiar that has no exits.
I got what you're
original
saying.
Stuff.
We had one of those up by Weston. We would go and just chill out at because it was a gravel road over I-29. We called it Greenbridge.
Well, Barger Hill or Lambert's Corners or.
So third and long for Clinton. They're going to go back under center in the wishbone formation. That'll be Barnhart under center on third down and long. And he's going to keep it himself. He gets to the outside, breaks one tackle, but not going to break the second one as Bollinger there. Bollinger. I'll get it right. It just flows as Bollinger. And a couple other ones. Also Caleb Campbell in there as well.
Probably not for them.
Well, and Robbie Bollinger would probably come up here and could whoop me real quick because.
Or Donnie.
Yes. So it'll be fourth down, and they are going to have to punt. It looks like that is Bramwell back there to punt for Clinton on 1:35 to go in the first quarter.
And Campbell's deep to accept it.
Got a good punt off, line drive punt, and the Cats are going to go over and pick it up, see if they can get something out of it. They're going to run back this way.
Pick up a block.
Oh, couldn't get the block. Good open field tackle right there by Daniel Ulich. And it brings up a 1st and 10 for the Cats at the 35-yard line. I'll have to find out if that's Ulich or Ulich for Clinton, but a good open field tackle, looking a little bit like a Sean Carruthers.
That's right. We talked about that last night. I believe he got some kudos from us last night.
Absolutely. Our teammate of the game last night was Sean Carruthers. Cats go with the quarterback, running back combo, and Snyder looking to throw. He does throw in a little bit over the head of Bollinger, Donnie Bollinger Jr. They'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Cats. But I like that. Reminds me a little bit of the big kids.
Absolutely.
The way running that. I think we ran a couple of screens like that last night, and they went for 20-plus a piece.
I believe 27 and 24 to Pesic and to Carson Miller.
1:16 to go now here first quarter. Shotgun, it'll be Snyder back there with Moore. 2 wide receiver set to the near side, and that's going to be a direct snap to Moore, and Moore falls right on the ball. What I love about that, heads up play. He was like, okay, I can pick it up, try to run with it. He knows bad things can happen. Instead, he just falls right on it.
Similar to River Riley last night again, with one of those, he had a bad snap, and instead of trying to force a handoff, he did what he's supposed to do, followed the dive back into the hole, and picked up close to a 1st down, if I recall, on that play. So like to see a lot of this similarities between the 6th grade and our high school program.
So here we go on 3rd and long for the Cats. And this time they're going to hand off, and it'll be Campbell again. And Campbell going to cut through, and he's into the secondary. He's gone. He gone to the house. And that'll be a 39-yard touchdown run by Caleb Campbell. And the Cats are out in front 12-0.
That's 69 yards on 2 carries by Campbell.
So it brings it to a 12-0 score. 24.9 seconds to go here in the first quarter of play.
Kind of reminiscent of yards rushed by Jace Reynolds.
Absolutely.
He's averaging almost 35 yards a carry.
They only unleash him at certain times. I like that. Keeps his average up.
That's right.
Here we go on the extra point attempt. And they're going to throw for just through the outstretched arms there of the wide receiver.
And he laid out to get that and almost did.
It was intended for Brody McNeil, and it'll be 12-0. We'll be back.
Competition between teammates makes for a stronger and better team. Lacey Dominick of Shelter Insurance and Cameron Chenoweth of American Family Insurance were both Wildcats on the field. Now they are competitors off the field. They know that you have many choices for insurance, so they're teaming up to offer free auto, home, and life insurance quotes. Call Lacey at 816-380-2700 or Cam at 816-380-3996 and get started on your new insurance quote today.
All right, 24.9 seconds to go in the first quarter. Cats lead 12-0, and a couple of big runs by Caleb Campbell.
Yeah, 3-play, 39-yard touchdown drive, and culminated by the 39-yard touchdown run by Campbell.
So it'll be kickoff here. Byron Smith to kick it off for the Wildcats. Clinton going to get in its lineup here. And here we go. High and over in kick, taking it about the 25, picked up by the Cardinals.
Oh, wonderful pursuit! 1-2, about 7 or 8 guys around the tackle that time. Wonderful pursuit by the Cats.
Hayden Jacobson on the return, and it looks like Wright and Smith in on the tackle. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Clinton, this time from their own 27-yard line. I got a feeling that Gary and Jerry are behind me talking about kickoffs.
What gave you that idea?
Well, I don't know. I mean, anybody that listens to our broadcast on a Friday night would know why we were talking kickoffs. Here we go, wishbone formation, Barnhart under center for the Cardinals on 1st and 10. And now he's going to snap it, and the handoff ball on the turf. They got a dive on it, Jacobson. The exchange issue there between Jacobson and Barnhart going to bring up a 2nd down and 13. And that'll be the last play of the first quarter. We'll take a timeout. Cats lead 12-0 after 1.
Sure, you could drive to the city and save a few dollars on tires, but why? Young's Tire and Wheel Center in Harrisonville is family owned and operated, and their clients are like family. That, coupled with free flat tire repair on new tires for the life of the tire, means you'd be crazy to drive all over the place to save $1. Trust Young's. That's who Fortis trusts to get them safely to all Wildcat games, home or away. Young's Tile and Wheel Center on South Commercial in Harrisonville.
Something that good teams always possess is the fact they got each other's back. Schroeder Chiropractor in Harrisonville has your back. With 2 chiropractors, 3 therapists, and an amazing office staff, you will feel right at home. And they have a warm, family-friendly waiting area. They will take care of your aches and pains and have you feeling like new. Schroeder Chiropractic has the community's back as well, being actively involved in the Bright Futures and Harrisonville youth sports. Whether it's aches and pains or getting involved in the community, Schroeder Chiropractic has your back.
All right, welcome back. We go to second quarter action. Back the Blue Times 2 here from Memorial Stadium all day long, raising money for local law enforcement. There is a donate button on the fortees.com webpage. If you would like to donate to local law enforcement, we will be giving away $1,700 to local law enforcement for a couple of for 2 different people today. $850 to Harrisonville Shop with a Cop, as well as $850 to Cass County Sheriff's Auxiliary.
But we would love to give a lot more. So, hey, you've got all day to give. I mean, so if you get the opportunity, please.
Under center, Barnhart. There goes the handoff and hit the hole hard and falls forward. Bramall. First time we've called his name today, and we talked about that. And runs. I'm sorry, he runs just like his dad. He just lowers that shoulder. He is not huge by stature. BJ not a tall guy either, but he hit his hole so quick and then was able to get some yardage out of that and gained about 3 yards.
Kind of looked like Pesic from last night. I know we're talking about Clinton, but still, Pesic runs very hard. Jace does as well, but kind of a little bit different styles, and that was kind of what he looked like, was a Pesic from last night.
So 7:20 to go here in the first half now, and they're going to go with a single back set. 2 backs off the end, looking like Excelsior Springs offense from last night. And here they go, look to pass. Barnhart looking, and he's got nowhere to go. Everybody in on that.
Do we have a sack?
Houchin. We do have a sack, but
not today.
Not today.
We were looking for it last night.
Carson Houchin. Maybe we should have signed the little kids up for it. So 6:50 to go here in the half. The sack. That was Carson Houchin and a couple of others. Didn't see those. They were on the other side. The only thing I've noticed a little bit different about calling youth as opposed to high school, the kids aren't as big, so the numbers aren't as easy to see. It'll bring up 4th down, and that will be Bramall to punt it away. And he's going to get it off. And an end-over-end kick, good roll. It's going to roll all the way to midfield. That's a great punt by him. 30-yard punt by Bramall on the roll. Donnie Bollinger Jr. able to get the return and take it all the way up to the 37-yard line of Clinton. So you don't see very many 6th graders roll off a 30-yard punt. Bramall was able to do it right there. And it'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Cats after the good return by Bollinger to the 37. So 1st and 10, Cats from the 37-yard line. Hey, this is Caleb Campbell territory right here. That 30 to 40-yard window. Shotgun formation here. And that is Snyder back there. And I believe
it's got to be 3rd down, though. Well,
and that's Moore this time. And Moore going to get to the outside, switches hands, gets to the 30, cuts back. That one's going to come back, though. I think a little bit of extracurricular holding there.
Yeah, but you got to love it. They're taught at a young age, and obviously you want the ball on the outside. He went through the hole, and when he realized that the pursuit was going to be coming from his right, he switched it to the left when he was out in the open. You got to love those kind of small things that really make a difference at the higher age and when you get into high school and college and pros.
And one of the things I'll say for the Clinton side that I've seen them running a couple of different offenses. I don't know what they run at the high school level, but one of the things I've talked to people too, you watch the youth program in Harrisonville, sometimes those 3rd, 4th, 5th grade teams can take some lumps. They can get beat by some teams in dominating fashion, but then when they get to the high school level, it reverses, and people are always like, well, why does that happen? We'll get to it after the snap. We got a shotgun snap. Snyder has Moore with him in the backfield on a 1st and long for the Cats. This time, going to take it himself to the near side. He got a block. They're going to call that one a block in the back, I think, and this one's going to come back as well.
I don't see. Oh, there is
Snyder.
the flag.
So Snyder's into the end zone, but it's coming back.
Okay, now you might be able to say 1st and peculiar.
Yeah, this is going to be 1st and long. But what I was saying is, you get those youth programs, and what happens is you see all these different offenses from a youth team, and then they get to high school or junior high, and they're running totally different offenses. You got to install what's going on at the high school level, at the youth level. You look at Harrisonville, it's a mirror image of what we saw last night. Now, like I said, I haven't seen what Clinton's running on a Friday night, but I've seen the wishbone, I've seen shotgun, and I've seen under center with a 1-back set. Those are 3 different total offense formations. Those are not just 3 different wishbone formations. Those are 3 different offensive formations, and a lot of times that can end up hampering the learning process for the kids.
Well, the numbering system is another thing. We'll get to that after this play, too.
So here we go. Cats are going to, as soon as I say that, the Cats spread it out with an empty backfield. 3 wide receivers set to one side, 1 to the right. And looking to pass here. They got a man out in the flats. Oh, couldn't quite come up with it. Going to bring up a 2nd down.
Well, and I think that's Campbell. I can't tell. He was wide open. Now, granted, it would have taken about a 30-yard throw. Not sure exactly how far our quarterback can throw, but
pass was intended for Baker, and that was Solomon Bollinger on the pass attempt. And it's going to bring up a second down and probably Raymore. I think we're past peculiar.
Okay.
We're on our
maybe
own.
195th. I'll go with 195th.
It's second and 32, so we're way out there. So Bollinger back here, and they're going to direct snap it to Campbell. Campbell says, I'm going to the outside. He's to the 40, to the 50, to the 40, down the sideline, breaking tackles out of bounds.
And he got a first down.
Not quite. They're going to mark him out at about the 30. So still, he got about 30 of it back as he gets down to the 30-yard line. So a 30-yard run by Campbell. I believe he was at his own 40, right?
No, it's a 34-yard run.
So
that puts him over 100 yards in 3 carries.
So I was even wrong. It was second down and 40. So third down and 5 coming up, 5:15 to go here in the half. Cats lead it 12-0. Now they go back to that quarterback set, and there's a high snap, and onto the turf it goes, covered up by Moore, and it'll bring up a fourth down for the Cats. So fourth down and about 13. Let's make it 14 here. So fourth and long for the Wildcats, 4:55 to go here in the first half. Clock is rolling. Checking in the ball game will be Dubray. Checking out is going to be Chandler Wright. So Dubray bringing the play in. You see a lot of that at that level. Get a kid, brings the play in, tells them what it's going to be. And it's going to be a fourth down situation. Are they going to punt it away here? And no, they're going to pass. And he's going to rifle it. Oh, almost caught, almost picked off, all in the same play through Bollinger's hands and then through the hands of Jesse Cole as well for Clinton. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Clinton will take over from their own 42-yard line, their best field position of the day so far with 4:23 to go in the first half. Jerry's deep in thought. I'm trying to figure out what he's thinking. Jerry's thinking moving inside for the sun and everything else going on. Probably would have been a wise thing to go to the south side too, because of that, or the north side, because that wind may not be as heavy on the other side.
We may be switching a real quick switch.
Well, the good news is we'll probably have a little bit of time. It is just 9:30, close to halftime. Having 4 games today. 9, 11, 1, and 5 p.m. We've got Harrisonville versus Clinton now. Third graders will be Harrisonville versus Richmond, and the fifth graders follow that, Harrisonville versus Richmond. Then we'll have a time off between that and the last game at 5 as Pleasant Hill and Warrensburg will be playing. We won't be broadcasting that game. So we have a timeout on the field. And they're going to talk it over. I'm not sure somebody who called the timeout is on the change of possession here. It'll be Clinton ball, best field position for them at their own 42-yard line.
You know, they've started out normally the last 3 drives, the 36, the 35, and the 37, so they've made it into the 40s. So
Harrisonville defense has been stout so far, not allowing very many yards.
3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out for the last 3 drives for Clinton.
I'll line up. Barnhart going to be under center here. Running back in the backfield, 2 backs off the end. On 1st and 10. And false start on Clinton, pushes them back 5 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It goes back. It'll bring up 1st and 15. And this has been a Achilles heel for Clinton here in the first half, is the mistakes and then compounded by some fumbles and stuff. Reminiscent of the Harrisonville versus Warrensburg game a couple of weeks ago. When those mistakes compound, they turn into points for the other team. And Clinton just got to get a good drive started here. You want to get them a good drive going.
Baby steps. You want to get the some good yards on first and second down. Hopefully then get a first down.
On 1st and 15. Now 2 backs off. Then they're going to go in motion with Bramall, and they're going to hand off right up the middle. Big hole there for the Cardinals, and they're going to get a big chunk of that back. Looks like 10 or more running the football there, and I do not have him
71
on my roster. Mine goes up to 64, so I do not have a 71 on my roster. Now they're going to go back to the wishbone formation. Under center is Barnhart on a 2nd down and 5. And this time again they give it right up the middle, but the Cats snuff it out quickly. Good tackle on the inside. Looks like Austin hurt with the tackle, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 for the Cardinals. Coming out of the ball game for the Cats was Chase Smith.
Isaac Fernandez went in to replace him. Looks like Smith was kind of limping maybe just a little bit.
So 3rd down and 7, 3rd down and 8 coming up. Under center is Barnhart. On 3rd down, and they're going to give it on a misdirection to Bramall. Bramall cuts through a couple of defenders. Is going to get about 4, but going to be about 3 or 4 yards short. Good counter play by Clinton there to get some yardage and make it 4th and manageable here. See if they want to punt this time or see if they kick it. So ball to 48-yard line for the Cardinals. 4th down coming up for Clinton here. Barnhart going to go up to the line of scrimmage and go with the wishbone formation in the backfield on 4th down and 4. Clinton looking for its initial first down of the game. Good handoff right up the middle and barreling forward. I think he's going to have the first down. And I'm going to run into the press box real quick, Gary, after that run. I do not have a 71 on my roster. I want to go see if they have him. So we'll be right back.
We'll be right back. I guess you'll be right back. And Clinton comes to the line. 2:25 left in the second after the first down run. And whistles are blown, and I believe Clinton is going to take a timeout. So I believe Chad went to the press box at the right time. And so we've got a timeout on the field. If Jerry will oblige me, we'll take a timeout, and we'll be back in about 30.
When you're searching for insurance, it's good to be able to call an agent in your town that can protect you. So if you're looking for auto, life, renters, boat, ATV, or any other weekend toy to be covered, call CPSK Insurance, an auto owner's affiliate. Call and talk to one of the local agents, Summer, Randy, Amanda, or Chandra, located right off I-49 and 291 in Harrisonville at the Millwalk Mall. They can give you a quote and get you covered quickly and easily. If your business needs covered, they can help you out there as well. Call them today at 816-380-3800 or visit them online at cpskinsurance.com. Let the local agents go to work for you.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium for Back the Blue ×2 here in Harrisonville. Harrisonville 6th grade Wildcats against the Clinton Cardinal.
And Clinton with their first down. I went into the press box. We do not have 71 on the roster. They don't have 71 as well, so we'll try to get that maybe at halftime. And they bottle them up that time. Wildcat defense all over that one, including Colton Myers on the tackle. Number 70, reminiscent of a number 70 on Friday nights, Ethan Murray. Big, tall stature, too, by Colton Myers there. So brings up a 2nd down and 11. 2:02 to go in the half. Cats lead 12-0 over the Cardinals. Cardinals got their first down of the ball game and are trying to move down the field. They're in Wildcat territory for the first time. Barnhart going to be under center, 3-back set in the backfield, wishbone formation.
You know, Cats don't have a first down. They got 2 touchdowns, but no first downs.
And they're going to go right up the middle again. barreling
number
forward.
71.
And that's 71 with another big carry. Brings up a third down for the Cardinals to about the 40-yard line. If anybody from Clinton is maybe listening, they can always drop the name. If they don't know who number 71 is, they could drop the name in there and let us know as well. So, ball down to the 40.
Yeah, put it in the chat so we can, recognize who it is. We want to be able to recognize all the young men out there playing. So if you can get us the name, we would greatly appreciate it, and we can mention his name on the air.
So third down and about 4 coming up for the Cardinals. Barnhart, handoff this time to Bramble. Bramble spins out of a tackle, but they were able to hold on to that jersey. He's going to get about 3, and it's going to be just short of a first down. So Bramble not quite to the first down marker. Connor Bramble with a good spin move there. He's going to be that type of a scat back, but we saw him lower his shoulder earlier too, even being a little bit smaller, so he can kind of do both of those things for Clinton.
I kind of, in my future, see 71 here. I don't know, but if he lines up in that wishbone in front, I would venture to say we may very well be seeing him right now.
And I think that's what we are going to see. They're going to snap it and right through the middle. And he's carrying defenders all the way down to the 29. We talked about that safety, your free safety back there. Caleb Campbell had to get involved on the play on that one. They have him about 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, but that was what Clinton did there to move the ball. Now it's a 1st and 10, Clinton to the 28, but only 8 seconds to go in the first half. What does Coach Jolly have up his sleeve for the little Cardinals here on a 1st and 10 from the 28 with only 8 seconds to go? You got to dial up something special.
I would dial up a similar Caleb Campbell rush right here. I mean, you're right at about the 30, 27, 28 yards. I would dial up a Caleb Campbell player to get that touchdown with 8 seconds
You
left.
know what I would like to see right here?
A field goal?
Go shotgun.
Oh.
Go shotgun and have 71 next to you in the backfield. Snap it. Delay draw handoff. Have them spread out a little bit. You got that delayed draw, and they may catch them napping, and it could be the last play of the game. But if you spread it out a little bit and you get everybody kind of running downfield, gives him a little bit of running room, he may be able to take it in the end zone for 6.
Oh, absolutely. I always like to draw screens, especially in times like this.
Because what you don't want to do in this situation, you don't want to get into too cutesy where you got a double reverse pass or something, because too much can go wrong and Harrisonville could possibly pick up a fumble and run it back. So here we go on 1st and 10 from the 28, and they are going to go shotgun this time. They're going to go in motion with Bramble. And this one goes over the head of Clinton, picked up by Barnhart and able to get out of a little bit of trouble. And a whistle, and I believe that's going to end the half. So a half in the books, and the Cats lead 12-0. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
A community always needs a group to help promote the small businesses in its town. Harrisonville Chamber of Commerce does this for Harrisonville. Chamber Golf Tournament, Log Cabin Festival, and monthly meetings. The Chamber events are plentiful and a great way for your business to be seen. Go to harrisonvillechamber.com or watch the weekly Chamber chat for more Chamber happenings.
No, keep going. It's halftime. You're good. No, wait. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Bring it back.
We got 1 second left. They called timeout.
All right, we thought we were going to halftime, but we've got one final play for the Cardinals here. 71 in the backfield with Barnhart. Wide receiver to the left, wide receiver to the right. They're going to go in motion with Bramble. And there's another high snap, and Barnhart not going to be able to do anything with it, and that'll end the half this time. So now we go to halftime. Your score 12-0. We'll be back with our halftime show in a few minutes. Does your lawn need some TLC? Owned and operated by 3 generations of Wildcats, Held's Turf Farm is your local stop for sod and topsoil since 1971. Whether you need one roll of sod, a scoop of dirt, or a whole truckload, they have you covered. A new home in your future? Give us a call at 816-540-2020 and set up a quote for new sod installation. Held's Turf Farm is located between Harrisonville and Pleasant Hill and is open 8 to 5 weekdays and 8 to noon on Saturdays.
Inside the Train testing facility, our heating and cooling products go through endless torture tests. We drop them, slam them against a wall, shake them, and then expect them to run without an extra decibel in our anechoic sound chamber. We test so it runs.
Pond Heating and Cooling is your local Train dealer. They've been serving Harrisonville and the surrounding communities for over 50 years. If you need service, repair, or replacement of your heat pump, furnace, air conditioner, or indoor air quality equipment, give Hahn a call at 816-380-5659, just like the Wildcats.
It's hard to stop a train.
When it rains, it pours, so it's important for you to get coverage that meets your needs. Farmers Insurance agent Bradley Sainer can help you understand your options so you can be prepared for what the forecast brings. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Learn more by calling Farmers agent Bradley Sainer at 816-974-8105 to find out how he can help you protect the things that matters most to you. That's Bradley Sainer at 816-974-8105.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
How nice would it be to get a check from someone and not have to worry about getting to the bank to put it in your account? At Hawthorne Bank, you can do exactly that. Simply open your mobile banking app, take a picture of the check, and voila, the check has been deposited into your account. Not to mention, you can always manage your accounts and payments right in the app as well. Hawthorne Bank prides itself on being at the forefront of technology to always make your banking a breeze. Hawthorne Bank, next to Troby's on Plaza Drive.
One of Harrisonville's oldest and its most reliable realtors, American Heritage Realtors. With almost 40 years of experience, they will take all the stress out of buying and selling a home. Add in being the #1 seller of properties on Zillow, and American Heritage should be the only call you make when you're ready to buy or sell your home. Experience, reliability, and results. That's American Heritage Realtors next to Sonic on South Commercial Street.
Stop going online and paying top dollar to make a t-shirt. Call Cindy at C Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing. She will walk you through the whole process and have you or your organization looking the best. It's no mistake that 4T's Broadcasting is always the best dressed crew around. We trust Cindy with all of our apparel on game day. Put a personal C Squared touch on your next order. Whether it's just 1 or 100, C Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing can get it done. Check them out on Facebook or go see them on the Clinton Square.
When you plan a party, the last thing you want to do is worry about cooking and cleaning up that mess. Call the experts at Time for Seasoning Catering. Stephanie will help you plan and execute a brilliant menu for your celebration. Take the worry out of your event and let Stephanie wow your guests with a great menu that they'll be talking about for weeks. Whether a small get-together of friends or a big wedding, Stephanie will take care of you. Visit them online at timeforseasoning.com. That's THYME for seasoning.com to get her booked today.
Welcome back. It is halftime, 12-0 the score. Cats lead at the half. And the big story of the first half, Caleb Campbell, a 30 and a 39-yard touchdown run. That's the difference in the ballgame, Gary.
Well, and last night it was 14, 2 touchdowns in the first half, so they're kind of following the same script from last night. Now let's see another 4 or 5 touchdowns in the second half, and it would be almost synonymous with last night's game. It's great to be out here. I'm going to talk a little bit about last night's game. Well, we've got a few minutes, so I can give some kudos out to some of the Wildcats. Obviously, we've talked a little bit about Jace Reynolds today and every Friday night. Last night, unofficially, I had him for 21 carries, 199 yards. I don't know. Did you check and see?
201. They had him at 201 on the official stats.
So I am
pretty close.
Yards off.
I don't know what we're going to do with him.
Jury's giving me a hard time. Well, how close is that, though, to the record? I know that's what I was going, not how close was I to what they had, but how close is he to the record?
40-ish yards away. I think it was 42 or 44. I saw Harrisonville Wildcat Football posted that, the football page on Facebook. I think he's about 44 yards from the all-time school record. So.
Right, and he's just a junior. And this is just going to be the 6th game. I mean, we've only went through 5 games as a junior.
Yeah. So sometimes kids run away and hide with records, and he's got a good shot at it because he ran for 2,000 last year, well on his way to 2,000 this year, as he's about 1,200 on the season this year. So he's had a good start to his career, and it's just getting going.
Right. To include the 201 yards officially, he had 3 touchdowns. Pesic had 2 touchdowns, and Riley had that 70-yard breakaway touchdown. He had 101 yards, so we had
You were right on. He had 101 yards on the official stats last night.
Oh, wow. Well, I hate to ask about Pesic, what Pesic had on the official stats, because I've got him 14 carries at 67 yards.
Oh, now I'll have to pull that. We'll pull that up. Let me go see if I can pull that up. We give Gary a hard time. You know, sometimes if you don't hear Gary for a while, I mean, obviously it's because Chad talks a lot. I know that, but also it's because he is so meticulous with his stats. So that's the other reason as well. So scrolling down here, let's look. Josh Pesic, they had him at 14 carries for 63 yards. What did you have?
67 yards. So on all 3, I was off by a total of 4 yards.
There you go.
Or 5 yards. So, and then also Pesic had a 27-yard touch or a reception, first play of the game. Loved that out of the blocks. I don't think anybody saw that coming. And then Carson Miller had a 24-yard reception, and so. You know, it was great to see last night after the week before where things just did not go well for the Cats at all. They came back, really put things together, and had a 39-13 win, and you got to just love that for the Wildcats.
Absolutely. If you're just joining us, we have youth football all day, 9, 11, 1, and 5 p.m. We have amazing photography down on the field. She is taking pictures all day long. Official photographer of the Back the Blue Times 2, Kennedy May, a Harrisonville graduate. She's down there taking her pictures. She's going to post pictures after the event when she gets them edited so that parents can go and purchase pictures of their kids. So that is awesome. And then we have Shivers Ice House has brought one of their trailers over here, and they're going to be set up all day long for snow cones. And if you haven't had a shaved ice from Shivers, you're missing out. They're amazing. And we go there at least once, twice a week. And I think they're about done with the snow cones. Going to move into the winter stuff and do some like warm waffles, homemade waffles and stuff like that. But he is setting up shop over there. 10% of everything that Shivers makes today is going back to the youth football program.
We're still counting. I love that. We're still counting.
So we got second half action set to come your way here. It is the Cardinals. It is the Wildcats, and they are doing battle in this one. It has been fun so far.
Look, I just want to give a couple of stats real quick. We had our first series. We had a touchdown of 48 yards on the series. The second series we had a total of 3 plays, 36 yards, and both of those culminated in touchdown runs by Caleb Campbell, and he's also had another 34-yard run, so he has got 3 carries for 103 yards unofficially.
Like it. Over 100 yards, Cats are going to get the ball. They didn't get the ball in the first half. Man, this is really a lot like a mirror image of last night. I'm going to let Gary take this real quick. I've got to do something because I know Gary's really hungry, so I got to take care of something real quick.
I am hungry. I expected to be fed when I got here at 7 o'clock this morning, but apparently Chad wasn't ready. No, wasn't even thinking about getting out of bed until 7 o'clock. Cats are going to be receiving. They're going to be going north to south. The Cardinals are going to be kicking off, and they're going to be going south. Cats are going to be going north to south. Cardinals are going to be going south to north. They're going to be kicking 8 minutes on the clock, beginning of the third quarter, second half here with the Cats and the Cardinals. And the kickoff, and got it about the 26-yard line, and he's got him a little bit of a seam. And he gets it up to about the 49 of the Cats, and I didn't catch. I think that was Caleb Campbell on about a 30-yard or so return. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cats on the 50-yard line. Just starting the second half of play between the Cats and the Cardinals.
You want to do the rest of the half?
No. I think I just did about as much as I could do for my mind right now. So
we talked about all of our great sponsors that have made this event possible, and Sonic, another one of them. Ed at Sonic always takes care of us. Larissa's boyfriend Joey's going to go get us our Sonic food for this morning. So we got a snap, and the Cats are going to take the handoff and right up the middle, looking for some contact and getting it. Solomon Bollinger with the carry, and he's going to get it to about the 44-yard line. 7:37 to go here in the third quarter. I'm still not awake all the way.
First play of the third quarter. I see I was helping you. If you'd have just given me a chance, I would have helped you there.
So 7:20 and counting here in this third quarter of play. Cats trying to get on the board. Going to go shotgun formation. I believe that is Bollinger back there alongside Campbell. And they're going to snap it to Campbell, and Campbell says, I'm going this way.
Uh-oh.
To the 40, to the 35, to
Cut
the
back.
30, spins all the way down to the 28-yard line. Good open field tackle down there.
That killed his average. That was only a 17-yard rush. Up to 120 yards in 4 carries.
And that was a tackle by Brody Barnhart, who also is playing quarterback for Clinton. So 6:45 to go. Down to the 29 are the Cats, and they're going to go with Bollinger and Campbell in the backfield, shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers off to the far side, and then they're going to go back and nowhere to go for Bollinger. He gets to about the 31, and he's going to lose a couple of yards. If you can hear that wind whipping, we're normally out here on this balcony every Friday night. We don't usually run into the wind too bad. I believe we're moving inside after this game to get out of that wind a little bit, so we're going to do that. Usually there's coaches in the boxes, but there are no coaches in the box this time, so we are going to be able to do that. So 6 minutes, clock rolling here in the third quarter. 12-0 our score. On a 2nd down and 12 coming up. May have a special delivery coming my way here in a little bit, as Braxton may be joining us. Braxton's going to be one of these little Wildcats before long. And here they go, Bollinger, and then a misdirection. And that is going to be Clinton football? No, it will stay with
the Cats.
5:25 to go here.
Got to like that misdirection play, though. I mean, it provides a little bit more for the offense for the Cats. However, didn't quite work the way they wanted to. Had a little bit of a problem with the handoff, and so it's going to be 3rd and about, looks like 16 from the Clinton 35. Got to believe maybe this is going to be 4-down territory, but not sure.
So 3rd down coming up. Bollinger hands off to Campbell, and Campbell's going to get a seam, weaves through traffic to the 30.
And he
to
gone.
the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Wildcats. Campbell with another good run. Over 30 yards. He's got 3 touchdowns in the game, and all 3 of them over 30 yards in the game. And the Cats lead at 18-0 with 4:45 to go here in the third quarter. The Cats here going to go for the conversion attempt. And I don't know if you joined us late. Difference in youth to high school, college, and the pros. If they run it in for a score, it's 1 point. If they kick an extra point, it's 2. So they go backwards from what all the rest of them do. And they're going to snap it, and it'll be Campbell. He weaves. Nope. Going to go to the outside and walk into the end zone for the extra point. That'll make it 19-0 with 4:45 to go here in the third quarter of play. We'll be right back.
Sherwood Community Bank is the hometown bank with all the big bank perks. Internet banking, auto, home, boat, and farm loans. You can get it all at one of their 4 convenient locations in Urick, Creighton, Garden City, or Harrisonville. Checking or savings account all you need? Don't worry. Sherwood Community Bank has you covered there as well. Stop going to the banks where you're just an account number. Go to Sherwood Community Bank where you're part of the family.
And tell them Braxton sent ya.
When it comes to fast service and reasonable prices, Young's Auto Repair is the place. Whether it is a standard oil change, new brakes, or something major, William and Michelle with Young's Auto Repair will make sure you are back on the road quickly with a little change left in your pocket. Don't break the bank when it comes to your vehicle needs. Instead, come to the shop that keeps the cost in check and you rolling back down the highways. Young's Auto Repair, right across the street from Young's Tire and Wheel Center on South Commercial.
All right, welcome back. 4:45 to go here in the third quarter. Cats now lead at 19-0 over the visiting 6th graders from Clinton, Missouri, the Clinton Cardinals.
And that was a 5-play, 50-yard drive by the Cats, culminated by the 35-yard run by Caleb Campbell, and I've got him unofficially at 5 carries at 155 yards as the kickoff, and it looks like the Cats may have gotten that kickoff.
It squirted out of the hands of Clinton, and somehow Clinton was able to get on it. I didn't think they were going to be able to. Daniel Ulick with the recovery.
You know, that reminded me a little bit of last night, you know, the onside kicks for Jerry.
If you haven't caught a theme yet, a lot of this looks like last night. And Gary was, I'm sure, loving that one right there. And it looked like the Cats were going to be able to come up with it. They couldn't. It'll be Clinton ball on their own 48-yard line. Barnhart going to be under center, 71 in front of those 3 in the backfield. Bramall back there as well as Jacobson. And here they go. This time it goes right up to 71. He's going to barrel forward for a gain of 5.
You know, I think that's going to become somewhat of a symbol of things to come with Cardinals for the rest of the game. He has he's done very well, 10, 8, 9, and that was a 5-yard run. And so that's only his 5th carry of the day, and it looks like he's hurting a little bit. Maybe he got popped in the side.
Yeah, it looked like maybe helmet to the rib cage area. That can slow you down real quickly. So it'll be a 2nd down and 5 coming up. Barnhart under center, 3 backs in the backfield on 2nd down, and this time they're going to give it to Bramall, and Bramall's going to get a couple of yards and then be wrapped up by a host of Wildcats. That'll bring up a 3rd down. He got a yard or so out of that one.
Into the game is Isaac Fernandez as
looks like Chase Smith checking out of the ball game. So to bring up a 3rd down and 5 coming up. And we have a game coming up after this. We got the 3rd graders coming up. We got the little guys coming up after this one.
That's always fun.
Right up the middle they go again to 71. He's going to lower his shoulder, get about 2 or 3. But the Cat defense stifling up there. Several of them in on the tackle, including Carson Houchin. Called his name a couple of times. He had the big sack earlier on in the ball game.
Did we ever get a name for 71 from anyone?
We did not, and I went in there, and they don't have it as well. So I said hopefully somebody will let us know. And it's a little different this year with the COVID, so all of the Richmond and Clinton parents are over on that far side. We can't just run down and ask one of them. So here we go on a 4th down and 3. Gary Davidson taking phone calls in the middle of a broadcast. What in the world is he thinking? Give him a hard time about that. 4th and 3 coming up. Barnhart going to be under center. 3 backs in the backfield. 71, Jacobson, and Bramall. On 4th down and 3, Cats showing blitz, and they're going to hand off this time. Ball on the turf, picked up by Barnhart. He's going to get to the outside, and he's going to have a 1st down to the 40, to the 35, tripped up down to the 30-yard line. That was a touchdown-saving tackle right there by Solomon Bollinger, and that'll bring up a 1st and 10 for the Cardinals down to the 31-yard line with 2:02 to go here in the third. Brody Barnhart with the carry.
I'm sorry, I was on my phone call.
What am I going to do with him, folks? So that brings up a 1st down to the 31-yard line. And good heads-up play by Barnhart there. Ball on the turf, was able to pick it up and make something out of nothing. And a 1st and 10. This time Barnhart going to go back the other way. Looks the option, pitches it back. Spin move by Bramall. He gets out of the tackle and moves forward down to about the 27-yard line for the Cardinals. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and about 6 with 1:24 to go here in the half.
You know, this is a good drive put up by them. This is their 5th series, and for the Cardinals, they had 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And then they had 12 plays before the end of the half when they were getting close to being able to do something. They've had a first down already now, and then it's 2nd down and looks like about 6 or 7 from the 27. So
here we go, under center this time. Gives it to Jacobson, and Jacobson fumbles it, and it is recovered by Clinton. They've gotten lucky with a lot of those, and it honestly it seems to be Jacobson and Barnhart are the two that are struggling with that handoff exchange. That was on that one that Barnhart made something out of nothing, and then on that exchange right there as well. So right now that seems to be their biggest issue is between those two. 19-0 our score with 18 seconds to go. The clock rolls here. Barnhart under center. 3rd quarter of this one. And here we go up the middle.
71.
Go, and 71 is going to get close to another 1st down down to about the 22-yard line. I think he's going to be about a yard shy, and that'll bring up a 3rd down as we go to the 4th quarter. We'll take a timeout. Cats lead 19-0 after 3.
Church & Dwight in Harrisonville, Missouri is now hiring machine operators and maintenance technicians for overnight shifts. Full-time employees receive full benefits immediately. Apply now at churchdwight.com/careers and we will contact you to schedule an interview.
Whether it's a summer cool down or a winter warm-up, Shivers is there with treats for everyone. All summer long, you can enjoy hundreds of different shaped ice flavors, combinations, or their world-famous Dole Whip. Since the weather is changing, so is the selection at Shivers with several warm treats including delicious homemade waffles. Located in Artisans Corner next to the historic Harrisonville Square, there is sure to be something for everyone. Come see them today.
Looking for a lifestyle photographer who was raised in small town Missouri? Kennedy May and Amazing Photography is that person. She will capture the fun and playful side of her clients and is ready to listen to what you want in a photography session. Friendly, affordable, caring, and compassionate, Kennedy will make sure your next session in front of the camera is an enjoyable one. Look her up on Facebook at Amazing Photography or her website at amazingphotography.mypixieset.com. It will be an amazing experience.
Welcome back. 4th quarter action underway. Back to the Blue Times 2. Thanks to all of our amazing sponsors that made this possible. A couple of them we talked about a little bit ago were Trey Chic Salon. They're in the same office building as one of our great sponsors, Cameron Chenoweth. You can go see them and get your air appointment. Also, the girls. About any woman in Harrisonville knows where the girls are. They are in the Gaslight Shopping Center with Golden Classic Jewelers, and they take care of women. Call them for an appointment. 8 minutes on the clock, 4th quarter, getting ready to start. We'll talk about all our great sponsors here in just a little bit. 4th down, and right up the middle, Barnhart goes quick snap, and he's going to get the 1st down to about the 18-yard line. And that'll be a 1st down for the Clinton Cardinals, and they are moving the chains here in the 4th quarter. Gary, I told Gary to go, and the lady I told him to go see to ask about the name went all the way to the other end. So Gary's just going to run a 400. Here we go. Barnhart going to pitch it back to Jake. Or no, this is Bramble. Bramble gets to the 15-10 to the house. Connor Bramble with the touchdown run. And there's no flags on the play. So Connor Bramble with the touchdown puts the Cardinals on the board. 19-6 the score. Extra point coming up. So we wait for the extra point. 7:29 to go here, fourth quarter. 19-6 the score. And we're going to go with the formation again, the wishbone formation. Barnhart going to give it up the middle to 71, and he was not going to have it that time. 19-6 is our score. We'll take a timeout. Cats lead in the fourth. Community is important to Excalibur Contracting. Being a Harrisonville business for 14 years, they understand what it takes to be successful and make Harrisonville successful. If you need help with a remodel, grounds, athletic field maintenance, mowing, or landscape, Excalibur Contracting is who to call. Mike and Natalie Johnson with Excalibur are proud to back the Blue both on and off the field.
Finding the right home can be a hassle. It doesn't have to be. Call Lori Turk with Crown Realty. Whether you're buying or selling, she will take care and time to get to know you and your family and give you a seamless transition from one home to another. Lori will help you through the entire process and make sure that everything goes smoothly. When it's time to find your family's next home, call Lori Turk with Crown Realty and put her to work for you. Why would you ever trust a guy in a big store with helping you pick out the right flooring for your house? I wouldn't. I'd call Hometown Flooring in Harrisonville. They will travel to you, consult with you, and come up with the best options for you, your house, and your budget. Everything from carpet and vinyl to hardwood and backsplash, this store has it all. Your money stays right here in the community these owners grew up in. Let the professionals at Hometown Flooring help you create the look you love with products that last. Call them at 816-380-2464 and set up your estimate today. 801 Locust Street, Harrisonville, Missouri, 64701.
All right, welcome back. 7:29 to go in fourth quarter, 19-6. Gary found out it was Mason Shoemate who's been running the football. And there's a little onside kick, high bounce, and it goes 10 yards, and there's a scrum, and Clinton's going to come up with it. And it'll be Clinton football. So big break for the Cardinals here. Got the onside kick, and they're going to have it in good field position at the 50. Gary's going to catch his breath. We just made Gary run a 400 meters as he went back and forth to go catch the player's name. And it makes sense that it's Mason Shoemate because I'm assuming that is Joe Shoemate's son, who is one of the assistant coaches. I've known Joe for years, really good friend of my brother, Brandon Goths.
Okay, since I was doing the running the field, who made the touchdown and about how long?
That was Connor Bramble, and it was from 20 yards out. And Gary interrupted his poor mom Michelle's picture taking, and she didn't get to get the picture of her son getting the touchdown. And this will be a handoff to Bramble. He's got it to the 50 to 40, down the sideline to the 35, and another big chunk of yardage. That offense for the Cardinals starting to churn a little bit. An 18-yard run by Bramble down to the 32-yard line. So ball to 32, 7:16 to go in the contest, 19-6. Cardinals are hanging around and driving on the Wildcats here. Wishbone formation. Shoemate, Bramble, and Jacobson. They're going to give it to Shoemate. Ball on the turf, and that'll bring up second down. They were able to cover it up. So second down coming up for Clinton. as the clock rolls with 6:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Gary, have you ran a 400 in a while?
I've not run a 400 in a long while.
Gary goes, hey, you want me to go down there and see if we can find out the name of number 71? And I was like, yeah, if you would. And the person I told him to go see was standing at about the 20
on the northeast side of the field.
Northeast side of the field. So Gary's like, oh, that's not too far. And as Gary got about halfway through the end zone, she started moving down to the southeast side of the field. So Gary ran a little bit farther today. And they're going to be Barnhart, and Barnhart goes nowhere, tried to get it to the outside. Good open field tackling by the Wildcats, and that was Bollinger with the tackle, Donnie Bollinger Jr. on the tackle, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 12. Checking in the ball game is Isaac Fernandez. Checking out will be Carson Houchin. Something I haven't talked about, what I love about youth football, is the number selection for youth players, because anybody that knows, linemen are usually your 50s and your 60s and your 70s. Linebackers are usually your 30s and your 40s. Your running backs are in your teens and your low numbers. Under center is Barnhart, and he's going to keep it himself, get to the outside, and he's going to get a seam to the 30, down the sideline to the 20, and stays in bounds inside the 20 down to the 12-yard line, where he's finally marked out of bounds. About a 23-yard scamper by Barnhart. Brody Barnhart with the run. So it'll be the 1st and 10 down to the 12-yard line. But at the youth level, you don't have that. You may have a center at number 18, or you may have a quarterback or running back being number 71. You just never know what you see with the numbers. It's kind of fun to see that. And, you look at Harrisonville, they've only got 4 players that are with a number over 45. Under center Barnhart, and this time they're going to pitch it back to Bramble. Bramble's got it to 15, cuts back and cut back into to the tackle of Peyton Snyder, and that'll bring up a 2nd down. It looked like Bramble might have got back to the line of scrimmage. If he would have kept that lane, I think he would have had a little bit more there, but when he cut back, he cut right back into the tackle of Snyder, and it brings up a 2nd down. So 4:52 to go here in the fourth quarter, and the Cats trying to keep the Cardinals off the scoreboard again. And here we go, Barnhart, and he rips out of a tackle, stays on his feet inside the 10, and is taken down at the 10-yard line after a couple-yard gain, but good hard running by Brody Barnhart.
Well, you got to be happy with the way the Cats strung that out, kept taking it to the sideline, It was a great run by him, but the Cats did a great job of pursuing behind him and coming up and making a tackle only after a couple-yard gain. And you got to be happy. There's only 4:14 left in the fourth. They're down by 2 scores. If they can hold them here or take them a long time to get in, you'd want to see us be able to get the ball back.
And Barnhart going to take the snap inside the 10, and he is stacked up by a bunch of white helmets and gray jerseys of the Wildcats with just under 4 minutes to go here in this contest. So time becoming the essence for the Clinton Cardinals here, trying to get into the end zone with 3:45 to go in the contest. Campbell going to check into the game for the Cats.
Timeout by the Cardinals.
And a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. We'll be right back.
There are a million places to buy a used car, so why not go somewhere you know lives by the Show Me State motto? The staff at Show Me wants to show you that Show Me spirit. Excellent service, affordable prices, and even loaners while you get your car serviced. They will put you in your dream car, truck, or SUV, and if they don't have it, they'll find it for you. So drive on over to Show Me Auto Mall and drive away with your next car.
Beechner Lawn Care LLC is locally owned and has been in business since 2007. They specialize in lawn and landscaping, leaf removal, aeration, overseeding, as well as snow removal for commercial and residential clients. Work with a reliable company who take pride in their work. Call Josh Beechner at 816-804-9743 to set up a no-obligation quote today. JCM Plumbing and Drain know you rely on your plumbing every single day. If your pipes or fixtures are broken or failing, the headaches and damage could be catastrophic. When you need fast, reliable repairs and replacements, call the experts at JCM Plumbing and Drain at 816-726-8281 and put them to work for you.
4th down coming up. Big play in the game for both sides. Clinton would try to make this a one-score game, and Harrisonville trying to shut the door on the Cardinals. There's a run by Bramble, and he's not going to get there. That'll be a turnover on downs, down to the 7-yard line.
Good drive, 43 yards on that drive. Just couldn't push it in. Got to be happy with the Cats stopping it. Now with 3:39 left in the 4th, they've got the ball, up 2 scores. They just need to control the clock here and hopefully maybe just go ahead and run the clock out.
Yeah, and you know what what I've seen from Clinton is they got down early. They were down 12-0 after the 2 scores, but they tried to change things up a little bit. We talked about it in the first half. They went shotgun formation. They spread it out a little bit. They went back to what was working for them, and that was the wishbone. And that's what you got to do. You got to stick with what's working, roll with it, and they were able to get into some cohesiveness with their offense. Now there's a snap. Snyder going to take it. He's up to the 15, cuts to the outside, going to get to the 20, 25, 30.
There's a flag, couple 35. Of flags with the player down as well. So maybe part of, all the flags are right around that player. He may have gotten
blindside block there. So if that's the case, if it's a spot foul, that'll come back. And it'll make it a first down in about 7 or 8, I believe. So they'll redo it again. So 3:28 and counting here in the ball game. I know Jerry's wanting to switch to the next game. I don't know if we're going to have time. we may have to roll after that. We may have to roll with the next game. Maybe the 3rd grade will have a little bit extra time between the 3rd and the next game. And Jerry says we may stay here. He doesn't know. 5th. Well, now the sun's up above him. He can probably see a little bit better. It's hitting Jerry on the side.
Yeah, but we so much appreciate Jerry because he's the one that, truly gets this thing going, obviously.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Jerry's technical wizardry, we would not be on the air. Cat's going to go in the shotgun. Bollinger back there. He's going to take the handoff, get up to about the 13. So it was a 1st and 5 after the spot foul penalty. It'll bring up 2nd down and about 4. Bollinger was able to get a couple of yards on that one. That was Solomon on the carry. So 2nd down, 2:51 to go here in the ball game. Cats lead it 19-6, trying to wind the clock out and get a victory for the Cats in game 1 of our 4 games here today. So we are waiting for that. The 3rd grader, 2nd/3rd graders getting ready to do battle here after this ball game. And we've got... Clock is rolling here.
I think they're calling timeouts. They're trying to run as much clock as they can.
So let it run all the way down to 2:11, and they got a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. Cats in control.
You always worry about your deck catching fire when you have a fire. Put Young's Construction to work for you to create a beautiful backyard patio and fire pit. Or if you are tired of endless cracks and crumbles in your driveway, they can help you out there as well.
Call Young's Construction at 816-738-1005 for a free estimate today.
J. Lee Renovations is family owned and operated. We understand how important your time and money is. With over 40 years of combined skills in the remodeling industry, we have the experience and knowledge to bring great quality work to you. After all, it's your satisfaction that is number one to us. So give Mark or Chris a call at 816-519-2051 or visit our website at renovatingkc.com. That's renovatingkc.com and get started on your free estimate today.
All right, welcome back. 2:11 to go. Here's the snap. It'll be a direct snap, and Isaac Moore with it. And then there is a flag at the end of that run with 2:03 to go. So we're trying to roll the clock here with about 2 minutes to go, but the flags are coming in. That'll be a 10-yard, or that'll be a half a distance of variety.
And the bad thing about it is that keeps stopping the clock in benefit of Clinton.
Absolutely. So 19-6 the score. All the way back to the 6-yard line.
How many times have we went back to right between the 5 and 10 yard line and still it was first down a couple of times, now it's second down a couple of times. But they're rolling the clock.
So 1:55 to go here. And the clock is going to roll. So now it takes it all the way back down to 2nd and 10. So all the work they've done to get out of the shadow of their own end zone, and they're right back in it again. And here they go, direct snap this time for...
Stay out of the end zone.
I believe that is Snyder. And that makes it a timeout. Harrisonville will take one as well with 1:29 to go.
S&S Auto Logistics uses only experienced professionals for your automotive shipping. Our highly skilled drivers are background checked and professionally trained. We offer fast, reliable, and courteous service to all of our customers. Call today and speak with one of our representatives for an instant quote at 573-392-1001.
A good cut can be hard to come by, not with Dusty at the Barber's Edge. Go see him at South Commercial right in front of the Trade Fair in the Little Red Building. Family-friendly environment, great price, and an amazing cut. If you want to look good, call Dusty at the Barber's Edge so you can look your best every day.
All right, 1:29 to go in the contest, 19-6. Big play right here, really, because if the Cats can't get it out of the end zone and it's a safety, it makes it 19-8, and they're also going to have to kick to Clinton. Gary's enjoying his tater tots, so I'll get to his comments here in a few minutes. 1:29 to go in the ball game, and the Cats in control.
You know, there's something to be said. They're still, even if they would give up a safety, they'd be still two scores ahead. Something to be said about just trying to run out the clock, because they're going to have to punt anyway. So go ahead and run around as much as you can, then down it, give them 2 points, be 19-8, and then come out and punt it from out here where there's no pressure as far as punting as well. So depends on how the Cats want to do it, but that would be something that I would consider. That way you get a free kick.
So Snyder back there, and they're going to direct snap it to Campbell. And Campbell's not going to get out of the end zone, and that will be a safety. Make it 19-8. Great job by Clinton there to read that play and get the safety. Look like Barnhart on the tackle in the backfield. So with 1:24 to go, we're going to have to kick it away from the 20-yard line. So,
and that's not a bad thing. I mean, they get a free kick, and they're still 2 scores up with only 1 minute and 24 seconds left. So take almost a miracle to score twice from the Clinton Cardinals.
They will have good field position, though, as it'll be kickoff from the 20. And it's a free kick, so you can kick it off or you can just punt it away from the 20. A lot of times, probably at the youth level, they're just probably going to kick it off. So we will wait for that to come up. We will have a pretty quick post-game show, and then we will have a quick timeout, and then we'll bring it back for our second game. If you're watching this game and you want to continue to watch, go to the website or go to 4T's streaming, and you will find all 4 links to each game. Each game has its separate link, so that, let's say the 6th graders want to go home and watch this game, they don't have to sift through all the coverage. They can go back and watch the 6th grade game and so on throughout the day. So we'll do that throughout this afternoon. 1:24 to go in this one. Cats set to kick it away. And here is the kick. It's to be a high end over end kick taken up by Barnhart at the 45-40. He had a running lane and gets to the 34-yard line, where it will be a first down for the Cardinals with 1:19 to go here in this one. I think Clinton's probably close to being out of timeouts as well. I haven't been keeping track of that. And Gary thinks they have one left.
I think they have one left.
So ball at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Cardinals, 19-8 the score. Wishbone formation for Clinton. Under center is Barnhart. He's going to pitch it back, and this will be Bramble. He spins out of a tackle, gets a couple, down to about the 32-yard line. Clock rolls here with 1:09 to go.
You may see Campbell, though, looks like he's missing some tackles, though he's doing his job. He's getting out there, coming upfield, and turning that play back in to the rest of his players so they can come inside out to make the tackle. So Campbell's doing a good job on the defense on this side to turn all those plays back inside.
So they get the no handoff. It's a fake handoff. Barnhart keeps it himself inside the 30 to the 29-yard line with 45 seconds to go. And now there's the timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. Cats trying to close this one out.
Are you still trying to decide if you should make the jump and buy a home? Call Jessie and schedule an appointment to weigh the advantages of owning your own home. She will walk you through the steps and show you all the pros to being a homeowner. Call 816-885-0043 and put Jessie Brown Real Estate to work at finding your family the home of your dreams.
It's hard to find someone reliable to work on your small engines. Not anymore. Nathan and the crew at Land & Sand are your stop from lawnmowers, personal watercraft, all the way to Can-Ams and Razors. From tune-ups to race builds, they will make sure your toy is ready to play with the big boys. Call them at 816-738-1455 and set up an appointment today. All right, welcome back. 43.6 seconds to go. 19-8 is the score. Cats are leading this one and trying to close it out here. So we will see if they can get it closed out. Timeout was called by Clinton. I believe that was their final timeout. And time is of the essence for the Cardinals here. Ball to 29-yard line. 29 yards from another score for Clinton. They trail 19-8. Barnhart under center. He's got Shoemate, Bramble, and they're going to pitch it back to Bramble. And Bramble's got a lane to the 20, to the 15, to the house. Bramble scores it. And that is Connor Bramble's second touchdown run of the game on the near side. That one goes for 28 yards, and there's 32 seconds to go. It's a 19-14 game, and business just picked up, as they say, Gary.
It did. And, you know, if they kick an onside kick and get it, they've got a chance to be able to have one of those runs like that and either tie it or win it.
19-14 the score. 32.7 seconds to go in the ball game. Under center is Barnhart. And here we go. Barnhart going to try to get the conversion. He is not going to get there. Stood up by a wall of defenders. And we will have a kickoff after this.
When it comes to fast service and reasonable prices, Young's Auto Repair is the place. Whether it is a standard oil change, new brakes, or something major, William and Michelle with Young's Auto Repair will make sure you are back on the road quickly with a little change left in your pocket. Don't break the bank when it comes to your vehicle needs. Instead, come to the shop that keeps the cost in check and you rolling back down the highways. Young's Auto Repair, right across the street from Young's Tire and Wheel Center on South Commercial.
All right, 32.7 seconds to go. 19-14 is the score in this one. And Clinton obviously is going for an onside kick here. If they recover, they're going to have a shot to win this football game. Touchdown would give them a 20-19 lead.
But they have no timeouts left. So, I mean, you're talking about probably when they get it, one play, and that's probably going to be it. They might be able to get two plays off. It just depends how things work. But they're only going to get 1 or 2 shots at it to make that touchdown.
Barnhart set to kick it off. Everybody up there, and they're going to onside kick it. Not going to quite get to the 10 yards, but Harrisonville able to recover it. And that means the Cats are going to be able to run out the clock. So Clinton put themselves in a hold early, wasn't able to climb out of it, had a shot, and couldn't quite come up with the onside kick. And that means the Cats are going to be able to go into victory formation with 32.3 seconds to go and get the victory here. So we await the whistle from the officials with 32 seconds to go.
But you got to like the way Clinton came back and made this a ball game, made it interesting. I mean, we're going down to the final play, and before this play right here, we didn't know who was actually going to come out of the win.
And there is the kneel down. I think they'll have to do it maybe one more time. We will see. I believe that'll do it. So the clock will roll out. We'll have our post-game show coming up here in just a matter of moments. Post-game show brought to you by Jesse Brown Real Estate, and we'll be back after this. All right, welcome back to the Jesse Brown Real Estate post-game show. Cats win it 19-14, and it was a crazy one at times, and at the end especially, but a good game from Caleb Campbell for the Wildcats. A great game in the second half from Connor Bramall as well for the Clinton Cardinals, as he had a couple of touchdowns and gives us our final score at 19-14. Before we get into our player of the game and our teammate of the game, I want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors for Back the Blue Times 2 that made this day possible for the youth program, as well as obviously backing the blue. Shivers Ice House, Amazing Photography, Hometown Flooring, Excalibur Contracting, Lori Turk Crown Realty, Beechner Lawn Care, JCM Plumbing and Drain, Church and Dwight, Young's Construction, J-Lee Renovations, SNS Auto Transport, The Barber's Edge, Jesse Brown Real Estate, Land and Sand Power Sports and Turf, Trey Chic Salon, The Girls, Maytag Trobies, Maytag Home Appliance Center, Show Me Auto Mall, Holland Auto Sales, Max Ford, Lacey Dominic with Shelter Insurance, Cameron Chin with American Family, Young's Tire and Wheel Center, Young's Auto Repair, Schroeder Chiropractic, CPSK Insurance, Harrisonville Chamber, Heltz Turf Farm, Hahn Heating and Cooling, Brad Sainer Farmers Insurance, Hawthorne Bank, Sherwood Bank, American Heritage Realtors, C-Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing, and Time for Season Catering. That is a great list and helped us raise nearly $2,000 for local law enforcement.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's wonderful. Again, I talk about it, how wonderful it is to show our support for our local law enforcement and emergency services, not only in Cass County, but around the state and around the nation, and especially in this time. I'm going to run through a couple of stats. We only had a total of, well, including the last series, which was a kneel down, 6 series. And we ended up with 3 touchdowns. All 3 were scored by Campbell on 30, 39, and 35-yard touchdown runs. Also, he got a 2-point conversion, which gave us 19 points. The other scoring by Clinton, both by Bramall. He had a 20 and a 30-yard touchdown runs. And to add with the safety, made it 14. So Cats prevail. The 6th grade Cats prevail 19-14. You got to say this about Campbell. I didn't write down every rush, but he had a total of unofficially about 155 yards or so, and so he had a pretty good average, sometimes somewhat what Jace Reynolds has, you know. So anyway, that's the stats I've got, and back to you, Chad.
Well, our player of the game brought to you by Max Ford of Harrisonville. I got to give it to Caleb Campbell, those 2 long touchdown runs for him, 3 long touchdown runs for him on the day. That was the difference in the ball game, was Caleb Campbell. They did not find anything to stop him. He is our player of the game. Teammate of the game for the Wildcats, and, you know, it could have been any number of them, but I'm going to go with Solomon Bollinger. We called his name a couple of times. He had a couple of good passes in there. He did a good job coming in and spelling Snyder. So Solomon Bollinger is our teammate of the game, brought to you by Lacey Dominic of Shelter Insurance and Cameron Chenoweth with American Family. They know you got choices for insurance. They teamed up to give you a good choice. So those are our final things from the game 1 of this broadcast. We got 3 more to go. We're going to shut it down, and we'll be back with game 2 here in a few minutes.